Hi everybody, we're at Houghton Towers, in the woods behind Houghton Towers. This is the nighttime part of the scary story of Houghton Towers. We got the feeling we've come here because this is possibly the area that Dorothy Southworth and
Richard de Houghton used to meet here.
And we were there because Samsbury Hall is not that far in that direction. Houghton Towers is just up the hill there, so we get a feeling that this could have been the area that they met and where possibly he was killed.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see whether we can get in touch with the
so we're asking out for Richard de Houghton of Houghton Towers
and see whether we get anything connected with the story.
Okay guys, so we're just on our way up to Houghton Towers. This was the home of Richard de Houghton, and this is the second half of the tragic love story tale. Just around Valentine's time of year, it's good to tell these ghost stories. This is where Richard de Houghton lived, and this road, when King James I stayed here at Houghton Towers, he actually dismounted his horse at the bottom and galloped all the way up, and all the way up through the arched door we're going to come to in a minute on the entrance, and he galloped straight across the courtyard, straight through the front door, straight up the stairs to his bedchamber to make his entrance. So this place has tons and tons of gory history. It goes back to 1600s King James time. The story that we're featuring on at the minute is the Richard de Houghton story, the de Houghton family that lived here, and Dorothy Southworth from Samsbury Hall. Hi, what's up guys, and once again we've brought you to one of Lancashire's spooky haunted houses. We're going to do the story of Richard de Houghton, of this fabulous Houghton Towers behind us here.
Oh yes.
So King James, yeah, he galloped all the way up to his bedroom to make his entrance, and he was housed here with his entire entourage of people from the palace for a few days, leaving this place bankrupt when he left. The owner of Houghton Towers at that time got thrown into jail because he was in debt for housing King James, but it was such an honour to have the king here that having a debt to pay for a king's visit was really like an honour, so they weren't bothered about it at all, this family. So we're going to go on in and around now Houghton Towers and show you around, tell you some of the ghost tales and the story of Richard de Houghton. Alright, so we're just heading on in through the main archway of Houghton Towers. We're going to be taking you around the best haunted houses in Lancashire, daytime and nighttime, and telling you the stories, the ghost sightings, the local legends, the folklore. And if you enjoy what we're doing, please remember to like and subscribe, and please remember to click the notification button so you will know any future videos we are going to be putting on. Massive, this place. So yeah, King James, he galloped all the way up here on horseback. And up to his bedroom, just to make his entrance. And this is the place where, when they sat down in the great banquet hall for a roast dinner, he knighted the steak sirloin. So this is the famous house which gave its name to the sirloin, the beef, the roast beef dinner. Okay, so you really need to go over and watch our Samesbury Hall video. That's the first part of this tragic ghost story and what happened. Dorothy Southworth, who came from the Catholic family at Samesbury Hall, fell in love with Richard de Houghton of Houghton Towers, and they were meeting in secret, but they were not allowed to get married because this was a Church of England house, and Dorothy Southworth, Samesbury Hall, was a Catholic household. So they weren't supposed to meet, but what they did, and we're going to go later on to the pathway where the two of them used to meet up. De Houghton used to sneak down on horseback with two friends down a track to Samesbury Hall and meet Dorothy at the back of the house there. And then one night, the brothers of Dorothy, you'll have to cut it. I'll do it again. Yeah, so Andy and I, we already went out to Samesbury Hall to do some paranormal, and we picked up Dorothy, didn't we? Yeah. Up in the chapel room.
You do get the feeling. I mean, sometimes you don't get anything, any sort of activity, but you get a sense that there is something there. You get there is that feeling, especially the last time we went. We were basically on our own, weren't we?
Yeah.
Christmas, and there is that feeling, and I would imagine at night it would be extremely creepy.
Yeah.
But during the day, it's like there is a sense, there is a feeling, and you do hear noises. Now you think to yourself, is it because it's an old house, or is it paranormal? Is it to say icy cold? And I know it was a cold day, but yeah, it really went icy cold.
Alright, so I've just sneaked into Houghton Towers. Have a little spooky walkabout. See if we can bring forward Richard de Houghton himself. Richard de Houghton, if you are here, would you like to come forward and show yourself and make yourself known to us? Let's hear your voice. I'm Alison. We've come to visit your beautiful home. Alright, so let's go and find Andy where he is. He's gone mooching around somewhere. Let's just see if we can find him anywhere. Nope, let's go and have a look where he is. He's got to be... There he is. Fine dining afternoon tea to classical music. Found you. There he is. Are you done now listening to opera in the tea rooms? We were doing a paranormal and you were like here and then you was like gone. And you were in the tea room dining to classical music and opera.
It's got to be intellectual.
Have you got your teeth in the right way for starters?
I'm intellectual and multicultural.
Well, now that we've got you back,
There's a bit of culture.
we can continue with the Richard de Houghton story.
See, what was that?
That was my foot kicking the stand. So some things you've got to debunk straight away as like, you know what we say? It's parapillock. Sometimes it is parapillock. Well, I admit it. My foot caught the thing, and yeah, that was me. That was definitely for sure.
I was thinking it, but I didn't.
All right, now we've got our partner in crime back. We'll continue with this Dorothy story. This partner in crime who you fine dining to opera in the tea rooms, but anyways, beside the point. So, right, this hall, this towers, and Samsbury Hall are like in a direct line to one another, but they're about 8 miles apart. So the two, Richard de Houghton, Dorothy Southworth, used to find ways and means to meet up in secret. Now, when we did a couple of paranormal shoots up at Samsbury Hall, we did pick up a few things there. Samsbury Hall is actually in that direction. So we're going to go down to an area later called Houghton Bottoms, which is the area that they used to travel across to meet one another. We're going to do the paranormal there tonight and see if we can get any messages from Richard or indeed Dorothy. So when we did the paranormal at Samsbury Hall, so you guys need to go over and click on Samsbury and watch that.
Samsbury Hall.
Samsbury Hall.
Samsbury Hall.
Come on in. I've got to keep him with me because he's going to end up back in the Victorian tea rooms listening to opera and stuff. So.
Why not?
And Mozart and all that. So we got, if you remember the last time at Samsbury, we were buried underground. That was one of the messages that came through.
Oh, I thought you meant all.
So one of the stories, the story has two separate endings. It's a really good Valentine's tragedy story. One of the endings is that Dorothy Southworth from Samsbury Hall got caught by her family, was shipped off to a convent in France, and there she put herself on a hunger strike and died. The other side of the story from this Houghton Towers, say that Richard de Houghton went over to see Dorothy at Samsbury Hall with two friends. They had a duel with Dorothy's brothers and lost the duel, and three of them were killed, and they were buried underground somewhere at Samsbury Hall. Now, when we were doing the shoot there, one of the messages that came through was, we are buried underground nearby. So yeah, there's two different endings to this story.
I think it depends which family you come from, to be honest with you.
I think
which one you want.
I do feel that Dorothy's family at Samsbury Hall had put that ending out that she'd gone to a convent because suicide was not good in the Catholic faith. And I think this house put the true story out, whereas Richard de Houghton was killed and then Dorothy took her own life because she couldn't survive.
Yeah, I think that's more like it.
I'm just going to show you guys this. Now, these are the little things I love about these old houses. That hole in the wall there, it's probably called the Pauper's Hall, where all the poor people in the area will come up if they wanted food or anything like that, and they will put their hand through there and they would have left them food or bits and pieces like that.
I wonder what that bell was for. Might have been the dinner bell or something like that. But yeah, fascinating place this. Fascinating place. And it's just a pity they don't open it up for like haunted nights and stuff like that, which I do hope someday they do, because there's so much history, so much paranormal stuff that goes on in here that you don't get a chance to properly investigate stories from members of the family who lived here, the de Houghtons. Fascinating stories, but absolutely amazing place. You really need to get up here and look at it sometime, because I mean, it's very quiet at the moment because the gardens and the house are closed, but from April onwards, until I think about September, the house is open for tours around the house, the gardens are open, and they've actually got underground sort of cellar, underground vaults and stuff like that, where there's a lot of paranormal activity goes. So yeah, have a good visit.
Alright, so we're going to leave Houghton Towers for now by day. We're going to film the pathway that Dorothy and Richard de Houghton would have used for meeting up on a dark night. And tonight's the perfect weather for it, really, because it's dark and rainy and possibly going to be stormy later on too. We're going to try and get back in here one evening to do the spooky thing. Yeah. And if we talk nicely to the ladies in the tea room and stuff, we might just get to be able to film some stuff for you as well, and put it on and push it out a bit. So stay with us on this spooky journey of Houghton Towers.
A bit spooky. Hi everybody, we're at Houghton Towers, in the woods behind Houghton Towers. This is the nighttime part of the scary story of Houghton Towers. We got the feeling we've come here because this is possibly the area that Dorothy Southworth and
Richard de Houghton used to meet here.
And we were there because Samsbury Hall is not that far in that direction. Houghton Towers is just up the hill there, so we get a feeling that this could have been the area that they met, and where possibly he was killed.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see whether we can get in touch with the
so we're asking out for Richard de Houghton of Houghton Towers,
and see whether we get anything connected with the story.
I'm just going to show you guys where we're at right now. So we're in the forest at the back of Houghton Towers, en route to Samsbury Hall, and we're asking for the ghost of Richard de Houghton to come forward. If you're here, please come and show yourself on the camera. We've set up some paranormal equipment. We've got a couple of cat balls out and an EMF, and Andy's going to run some paranormal equipment. We've got the spirit box, so yep. Let's see if we can reach either Richard or Dorothy, or both of you, or perhaps even Dorothy's two brothers who were responsible for killing Richard de Houghton with swords.
So, are there any of you here who'd like to talk to us?
And the owls are up and about.
Envy.
Envy. So, Richard de Houghton went by horseback with two of his best friends as a sort of escort to Samsbury Hall, but apparently Dorothy's brothers were waiting and ambushed him. So we're not quite sure exactly of the location of where that ambush took place, because Samsbury Hall says it was at their property, and Houghton Towers say it was here in the woods. So we're doing paranormal in both places to see if we can pick up any messages or any information at all about what happened here. So Andy's going to do a little spirit box first to see if we get the Richard or Dorothy to come forward in this woods tonight at the back of Houghton Tower. Did you use this forest frequently for travelling on horseback? I mean, perhaps you hunted here, hunted deer. It was a very popular thing for young men to do in those days, the 1600s. Come through, Richard, if you're here, and give us some of your story, because it's a little confused, the story. Better watch out. What do we need to watch out for? Can you tell us what we need to watch out for?
Envy, bad entities here.
Bad
Better
entities?
watch out.
Seriously, bad entities? Who are the bad entities? Do we have names?
You can talk to us and we'll hear your voice.
Do you know what though? And you might disagree with me on this. The bad entities could be the Sainsbury witches. But you think that witches are not bad entities. You wouldn't class witches as bad entities, but I'm thinking that the Sainsbury witches would have practiced in the woods. This could well be their area.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, depending on who's coming through, they would feel as though they were bad entities.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, they would.
Yeah, and we need to point out that the Sainsbury witches and the Pendle witches are completely different covens. The Sainsbury witches were two ladies who got caught for witchcraft here, and the Pendle is a different story, although it's only like within 10 miles from here.
Secrets.
Okay, what are the secrets?
Can you tell us your secrets? Can you tell us your secrets?
Was
What
the
your
secret
secrets?
that you were meeting in private?
Is that your secret? Okay, you say to us.
I heard a voice then, don't know what it said. Did you pick up what it said? The owls are hooting like crazy.
You want to talk to us?
Come and show yourself.
Devices.
If you're here, come and show yourself on
Your
this
presence is here.
camera.
Line in. Bluetooth. Scanning.
Distant, just dead on Spirit Talker. Or not dead, just distant, was it?
Not dead, just distant. I mean,
Perhaps they've not crossed over.
yeah. I mean, okay, you don't need to be afraid. I'm Andy, this is Alison. You can talk to us. Any messages, anything you want to say.
Your hair?
You're right, well, it's certainly not mine.
Andy's went a long time ago.
Device-
Since he got married, actually, his hair went. That's alright.
No, he's already gone.
I put you on a spot now, haven't I?
He's already gone. Yeah. There's a device over there, if you go near it, it'll light the lights up. There's another one here. It'll start flashing, so you no need to be afraid.
Yeah, if you come close to the cat ball, you'll be able to set that off for us and we know you're here then. Suffering?
Suffering.
I heard
Are you suffering?
I heard something over there then. I heard something over there. Just pick up a torch and shine it over. I heard something. I thought it might be an animal. Because there's going to be deer and stuff, foxes probably. It probably was an animal. But then again, you got suffering, didn't you? What if that was horse, like ghostly horse hooves? You know when you hear like animals moving about? I heard something moving about. It might be a deer. But then you got suffering. Sarah, who's Sarah? Sarah, come forward, Sarah. Who are you? Who was making that noise then? The old. That's a little perfect new moon back there. You can see. I did hear something like running there, but I don't know. It might have been a deer. But Gloria, Sarah and Gloria. Who's Sarah and Gloria? Who are you, please? Come forward. Tell us who you are and why are you in these woods. Or what year do you come from? See, there's ghosts from all different eras. We keep focusing on the sort of the famous ghost stories in the area, but there'll be other ghosts.
Yeah.
since then, like from the 17, 18, 19, even present day, recent
Yeah.
ghosts. So
Yeah.
they're not necessarily all going to be from that era.
No, I mean, you come and you have a story of the area and of the famous stories, but sometimes it's not always the case that those are the people who are active.
Yeah, just everyday people can come
It could be
through.
just ordinary people who come here, through here, who love being here, who still come here. You know, I mean, it's quite a little, you know, it's probably a nice little...
Houghton Bottoms
it's
is
an-
the official title of this place we're at right now.
It's a nice little village, you know what I mean? So people would have loved this place because it's a nice little place.
Francis, that's 3 ladies' names now we've had. Sounds like a ladies' walking group. Or perhaps it was a witches' coven. Samsbury witches. One of them, I think one of them was called Isabella though, weren't she? The Samsbury. These are all women's names. Why are we getting all women's names? Who are all these ladies?
Sarah, Gloria, Frances, Evelyn.
Who are you all? Are you witches? Are you Samsbury witches? Or are you a ladies' walking group? Or an artists group or something? A running group maybe?
I'm going to do...
It's weird how we're getting all women's names coming through right now here. Because we're like right in the middle of the woods at the back of Houghton Towers before you get to Houghton Bottoms. Can you... Well, we can certainly know that you're here because you're coming through and giving us all of your names, but if you go close to these logs, we've set up EMF and cat balls, and then you'll be able to flash the lights and we'll definitely know that you're with us. But who are you ladies? Are you interested in paranormal, ghost stuff?
Do an EVP, see whether we get...
Yeah, find out who they are. It's weird.
Who are you, ladies? I'm going to press this button and there'll be a red light. If you speak through that red light, then we'll be able to hear your story and then we'll know who you are. Okay? Anybody? Anything you want to say to us or anything? It's going to be your last chance. We'd really appreciate it if you could. You know, do something, say something, anything at all, anything you want to say to us.
What's the S twice the north?
Yeah.
Spirit Talkers just got a year of 1860.
1860.
Maybe those ladies were from the 1860s. Were you from the 1860s?
I've a lot of women's names though, weren't they?
Yeah, I know. That's it's either a, well, it's obviously a women's group of some sort, but whether it's walkers or witches or camp out guides or artists,
but it was like, it wasn't like one woman. It was like
Bang, 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 one name after the other, wasn't it? Like a list.
it was like different all women's names.
Yeah.
You know.
But if there were Samsbury witches, they would still practice in this woods, probably.
Yeah, of course it was.
So unless it was something like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we didn't get any of the Houghton stuff through, did we? So we was really hoping to get like you know, the follow up to the Houghton story with Dorothy from Samsbury, because we did pick up on Dorothy. We got her name through at Samsbury, so she's quite strong at her house. But
Yes.
I don't know, Richard de Houghton. We're not getting anything really from him at all. We've tried, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean.
Maybe he's just passed on now. Maybe he's just accepted his fate.
Yeah, it's possible.
No.
I mean,
He was run through with 2 swords, as far as I know, and when they excavated the grounds at Salisbury Hall to do the car park and all that, they found a skeleton which matched him, is the date, the age, everything. So they've actually put him in a tomb now in one of the churches near the hall, just in case it is him. So that story, but the story, if that's true, he was actually killed at Samsbury and buried in the grounds there.
I mean, it's...
But I think we've come to the end of this particular story now of Houghton Towers, because we've been on this one for a couple of months, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean...
Samsbury, and it's an interesting Lancashire ghost and legend story. If anybody wants to look it up and go to visit those 2 houses, Samsbury Hall and Houghton Towers, are both beautiful places for a day out. They do history tours. They do paranormal evenings, so it's well worth a journey. And this story is the famous, like, sort of tragic lovers, Romeo and Juliet type story, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's well known in the area. I mean...
What was that?
I don't know
What was that? What is that? Some kind of bird. Must be some kind of bird. You know what it is? We're still jumpy because of the dogman thing that we heard. I've never heard a bird like that, but there must be some birds that sound like that. Do you think? What are screech owls? What do they sound like? That was like a screech, weren't it? Screeching, but I think it was definitely a bird.
Yeah.
Because it seemed sort of as it was flying over, didn't it?
It did sound like a bird.
Oh god, that's a train. No, hey, that's rare. No, you want something rare? It's not the cryptid. British Rail are running trains on time on a Saturday night. No, that is rare. Rare sighting? Forget your Bigfoot. We've got a train here.
Yeah, I think it was jumpy.
Yeah, you know, because we're still jumpy because of what happened at Tockles, and even though that was like nearly 2 years ago now, it still, when we're in the woods, brings it back if we hear a strange sound. What the hell is it? Do you know what I mean? We was having this discussion earlier with family, and it's like I'm still on edge
With that.
in the woods since we got that at Tockles. We couldn't understand them sounds.
Yeah.
I mean, alright, that was probably a bird screeching and some kind of whatever bird it was, but you know, it's spring now and they're all coming out, the animals, so maybe we're going to hear more sounds. Just be aware of that, innit?
It is creepy.
Alright, but for now, we'll leave this shoot at Houghton and we'll get on with the next project.
Yes.